porting each kind of model to Gary's bots. So yeah, the chances are you're not going to be able to just follow this tutorial like one-to-one and have everything work out. There's going to be things that you're going to need to figure out on your own. But luckily there is Google, and there are a lot of people that can help you. I'm sure people can help you out in the comment section. But yeah, there's no way that I can account for every possible variation and variable. I will try to account for as many that I know of. So that's the basic idea of how you make physics bones, also known as jiggle bones in the source engine. We're going to do the same for the hair. I won't bother showing it because you've already seen. Alright, and at this point we should be ready to export as an SMD. So we are going to go to this tab, go to Source Engine Export, choose SMD.
Oh, I forgot to do that too.
Keep everything else the same. And then on Export Path, we're going to click this little folder icon. And you can either export to the template folder that I've included under compile.
I'll do that because I trust that a lot more than putting it in a random ass folder. Oh, where is it?
Folder template and just dump it right there. Or what I recommend doing is going to...
I've done this before, but I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right because I also added didn't add, they're already there in this model, because this is the official rig for Super chipflake Ooh, which I ripped straight from the game this time, instead of using a crappy little thing. So, yeah. Buddy boy! Buddy boy! I'm so funny. So funny.
Compile folder template in the zip that I gave you and copying it to a different location and then naming it whatever it is you're making. So for me it would be Anna playermodel compile. I already have one right here because I did it earlier. And then under export path, navigate to that folder, and then once you are in the correct folder, just click accept. But before we export, we need to decide what parts of the model we want to be body groups. This is kind of optional, kind of depends on your model. Like I said, there's a lot of variables, and it also just depends if you want cool extra features for your player model.
I do actually, so... Let's go back in the pose mode. Actually, I forgot to do this shit. I almost forgot about these ones, which would have been easy to miss had I not done that. Hooray! Hooray!
Right now. So in Gary's mod, if you're aware, there are such things as body, which is the feature where you right click on a ragdoll or in your player model menu and you go to body groups and you can like turn off certain parts of the model. So this is where we would set that up if we were going to do that. So normally I would just combine all of these pieces into one and then hit export. But if we want body groups and we want the ability to disable certain parts of the model, like her cape for instance, we're going to need to keep those models separate. So what I usually do is I usually make it so that, let me hide the skeleton here. I usually make it so that attachment can be disabled. So for instance, her shoulder pad, her cape, her collar, her little belt thingy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the pieces that I don't want to be turn-offable, like her actual body and hands and head. And I'm just going to select those and only those.
Bro.
And then press G to move them to see if I have everything but the attachments, like her actual body and hands and head. And I'm just going to select those and only those, and then press G to move them. To see if I have everything but the attachments. Okay, I didn't get her neck. Proving more difficult than I anticipated. Okay. Can I have just... Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. So this is just her face model. I accidentally selected her shoulder pad. Actually, her shoulder pad is part of her neck thing. Okay, that's fine. We can actually work with that. So if you have something like this where two pieces are connected to each other as one, we're going to select it, go into edit mode, and we are going to enable wireframe and press C to get our selection brush, and we're just going to paint there. So we just want the shoulder pad selected. If you accidentally select a piece you didn't need to select, just press middle mouse button to deselect.
Middle mouse button.
We have just the shoulder pad selected, and we're going to press P, separate by selection. There we go. So now these are separate pieces. So now we can finally select the neck and the head and the hair and the rest of the body again. We're going to do Control J to join. Join it into one single object like that.
Ooh, I forgot about brick bricks. Hold on, store page. Yeah, I've actually wanted to play this for a long while. I remember seeing it back in 2012, 2018 or 2019, maybe even 2020 or so, and enjoying videos by Commando Gaming.
And that leaves all
Komodo,
the rest
I think.
of the
I
things
don't remember.
as separated
But
pieces
still.
That we're going to attach in the QC file in a bit here. So now I just need to make sure that everything is named properly. So this is her main body. It's currently named Aina.A pants. If you go to the object tab, this is what is currently to each can, the head and the hair and the rest of the body again. We're going to do Control J to join it into one single object like that. And that leaves all the rest of the things as separated pieces that we're going to attach in the QC file in a bit here. So now I just need to make sure that everything is named properly. So this is her
Okay.
main body.
Do I not have to worry about
Named
textures
Aina.A
right now?
pants. If you go to
Okay.
the object tab, this is what is currently named. And we're just going to change this to lowercase Anna_body.
Better fed than fed up.
I forgot to mention that the head needs to be a separate model typically as well, because it is way too high poly to be connected to the rest of the body, because that's just too many vertices in one model for the source engine to handle. Make sure that the head and the tongue and the teeth and the eyes and everything attached to the head besides the hair, that is important. There we go.
What the fuck?
That is.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Oh fuck, dude.
So,
That should not be as funny as it is.
As it was already. I just
Whew.
forgot how we have head, we have body, and we have all the attachments, which we still need to name in the objects tab. So this is her shoulder pad, not her coat. So we're just going to change this to Anna_shoulder. Change this to, that's already named correctly, but just make things easier later on. Shorten it a little bit.
Do I have to have them undercase? I don't think I do, but I don't know.
Okay, do that for.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Ah, oh my butt hurts. Ow. Alright, I'm back now. No one's watching, but I mean, if anyone's watching in the background, that's fine. But I don't know why you would. I'd probably scream in a few minutes or so. Be like, what the fuck? Open up, pink strawberry bitch.
By default, it tries to export the entire collection as I think a single object, which we don't want. So we're going to select all of these within the collection and drag them out. That unhide skeleton. We're just going to delete this collection here.
Okay.
We want all these to be exported as separate model. Okay, cool. So, just double check before I export. Make sure everything is parented to monitor. And nothing is left behind when I move it by the pelvis. Okay, cool. One last thing before you export your model is to delete all of the face bones, if you have any, and the bones that are in your character's eyeballs, if you have any. If you did any face posing shape keys, it's going to mess up for some reason. At least that's what happened to me in the past, if you don't delete all of those bones. So since we do have face posing on this model, I'm just going to go into edit mode and press C to choose brush select. In object mode, press A to select everything, including the monitor. And just in case, I don't remember if I moved anything when I was working. I don't think I did, but just in case, I'm going to Control A, Orientation, Scale, like we already did. Select everything again by pressing A a couple times. So I'm going to File, Export, Source Engine, Selected Objects, 8 files. Okay, that should take a little while. Didn't feel like 4 seconds, felt more like 10 seconds, but I don't know. So now that we...
That's because you're an impatient little bitch! I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm impatient too, but I have at least somewhat reasonable patience sometimes. Like, right now I really want $20 for a Switch game, which I just want the Portal Collection again. But I don't think I can spend that kind of money right now, so I'll just have to wait until I have to go to my boyfriend's again. Which is gonna fucking suck. Because I want to go there now!
X.
Model. So I believe I set the size to 40.
Exported in its different segments. Now we are going to move on to the next step, which involves using the old version.
Forgot what that looks like, so I'm gonna open up old Blender. Okay, I can probably just look up Blender in here, actually. Let's do that instead of looking... that's stupid. Blender. Blender. Blend. Oh my god, hurry up! Okay, so I guess let's just do names instead. Sort by name. Sort by name, sort by name, sort right here. I see it all the time, actually.
Of Blender, so I'm just going to save this and close out of new Blender. Alright, so open up Blender 2.79 and
2.67. Ah! I'm just kidding. Okay.
we are going to use this to open a blend file, which is the proportion trick script that I had you download. So go to open and navigate.
It would be in the yeah, PM plan to templates. Template maybe. Wait, oh, I think I have to download it again. Shit. Thank God to save my progress, kind of.
Step, which
I'm pretty sure I already have it. I mean, I'm not gonna find it right now, but I'm just trying to figure out where I put it if I had it. God damn it! I am being very autistic right now.
involves using the old version of Blender. So I'm just going to save this and close out of new Blender. Alright, so open up Blender 2.79 and we are going to use this to open a blend file, which is the proportion trick script that I had you download. So go to open and navigate to the proportion trick script folder that you extracted and look.
Okay, hold on. I gotta look for that. I gotta look for that. Ah, there's a mess, I think, on the table. This is just Charlie Brown's, fucking, Ew, what is that? Ew, go away. Holy fuck. Which one do I open up?
Load the blend file.
Okay, I'm gonna have to download that, which is fine. Fine. God damn it! Okay, I didn't see that, so where did it go? I don't fucking know. What the fuck? God damn it! God fucking damn it! Ah. No, it's not that.
Proportion trick 2.7 underscore.
Excuse me.
So, what this is Gary's mod by default tries to stretch your player model skeleton to fit the bone locations of the default player model skeleton. And as you know, we aren't using the default player model skeleton because the skeleton that I'm using in my character is from Destiny 2. All we did was rename the bones. So it's going to try and contort those bones to the proportions of the default player model skeleton, because that's just how it works for whatever reason. So what this proportion trick script does, it'll perform some operations on our model to enable the source engine to load our player model without stretching the skeleton to the default player model proportions. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go up here, you're going to click proportion trick, and then go to File, Import, source engine SMD, and you're going to navigate to where you exported. In my case, I exported it in multiple bits. So first, we're going to navigate to that folder, and then we are going to start with the head. I don't think it actually matters, but I'm going to start with the head.
Oh, I'm not gonna do shit! Owie, my sides! Ah! Okay, it's funny as hell, I think. Now, do I do anything specific?
And make sure to change this from append to target to make new armature, and click import. Okay, so there is.
Where'd that piece go? Oh no!
Back, and we're going to click File, Import, Source Engine, and we're going to change this back to append to target. File, Import, Source Engine, and we're going to change this back to append to target because we are now attaching the rest of it to the skeleton that we just made, and we're going to. Rest of the character. Don't select the VTAs because the VTA files are what is used for the face poses that we made, and we're not doing anything with the face poses. We just need the model. So now we have.
Good thing I don't have face posing on my model, which isn't even mine, but I'm just importing it. Are they gonna fucking tissue? But I have no goddamn tissue boxes in this goddamn fucking office. Fuck! Fuck me! Now I'm gonna go.
Besides the head, 'cause we just need the model. So now we have all the rest of her selected besides the head because we already imported it, and we're going to click import. Okay, so that is the rest of her. And now you're going to go up here to the skeleton, and you're going to double click and rename it to GG.
GG, GG, GG.
Don't ask why. This is just how the script works. You need to name the skeleton to GG. Now that you've done that, you're going to select your skeleton by clicking on it in the collections menu thing up here, and then you're going to click Run Script. Remember when we
Run script, run script, run.
you had to select your skeleton by clicking on it.
I already did that. Oh, okay.
in the collections menu thing up here, and then you're going to click run script. Remember when we had those extra bones that I was telling you about earlier, and I said we would deal with it at a later stage? This is where we deal with it. The bones that we don't have, in this case we were missing the spine bone because the source engine expects 4 spine bones, and we only had 3. The missing bone will appear as
I only had like fucking 2.
black. The bone that we were missing in this case.
Forgot how to move around properly. Not. Okay, I forgot how to move around in this little thing, so,
Is spine 2, and the bone that we have, which is the green one, is spine 1. So you're going to click the black one, and then shift click the green one.
Ah! Okay. Okay, so I forgot how to move around. I gotta figure this shit out again. Hold on. I forgot. I want to just move. Wait, no, I want to. I just want to move. What the fuck? Okay, the spike. Help me. Oh. Ah! Oh my god, thank that kid so much. That fucking helps a lot.
And then click space and type in copy constraints to selected. Bones, and you're going to click that. And now it will no longer be black.
Ah. Hey Wallace, did you know that? Wait, what did I do? Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, hold on.
And type and then shift click the green one and then click space.
Oh, okay, hold on. I guess that'll work. I don't really know. Ah, get me out of here. Okay, there we go. Guess that works.
And type in copy constraints to select
Copy.
bones. And you're going to click that. And now it will no longer be black. So that's what to do if you have missing bones. In the case of the neck, we had an extra bone, which is not appearing in this, so that might mean that it will work okay. On the off chance that it doesn't, we're going to have to delete that extra neck bone and bind it to the main neck bone using weight painting, which I showed you earlier in the hair and cloth physics section.
Wait.
But for now, it doesn't appear that there are any other black bones. Hit A a couple times until all the...
Alright, so I believe that I just... Oh, no. No. I'm doing OBS. View, walk navigation. So it looks like this on that one hand. Does it look like that on the other hand? Yeah, similar enough, I think. I don't think anything would go wrong with that, to be honest. Is there anything else that is black at all? Or is... I think everything else seems fine, but I can't really tell. I mean, everything seems fine, so... I guess we can start going.
Bones are blue, and then we're going to go down here, and we're going to go to apply pose.
Okay.
Pose as rest pose. A little warning thing will pop up here. That's fine. That doesn't actually mean that anything bad has happened. And then reselect the bones again by pressing A a couple times, and then press space and type in clear, and you're going to use clear pose.
Ah. Okay, there we go. I remember that. Remember that.
Clear pose constraints, and the color will change a little bit. That's what we want. Next, go down here, and from pose mode, go to edit mode, and under view, go to right. And we're going to go down here to the toes. These are the toe bones, and we're going to click on this little thingy and change this to individual origins. Press B to box select, and we're going to select both of the toe bones, and we're going to rotate them until they're about as straight up and down. As we can make them just by eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Toes. These are the toe bones, and we're going to click on this little thingy and change this to individual. Origins. Press B to box select, and we're going to select both of the toe bones, and we're going to rotate them until they're up.
Center view the cursor. Okay, this is actually helpful. Cursor and
about as both of the toe bones, and we're going to rotate them until
I am assuming that it would be R. Okay. Stop! Oh, okay.
they're about as straight up and down as we can make them, just by eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be perfect, just until it looks right to you. Left click to apply. And right here, it'll give you the angle that you just set it to. So we're going to click that, Control C to copy it, and we're going to press A a couple times to select everything. Go up here to the ankle bones, and we're going to press B to box select the ankle bones, press R on your keyboard, and then hit Control V, and then enter. And to deselect everything, go up here to the ankle bones, and we're going to press B to box.
Keeps doing it in a 3D space.
Box select the ankle bones, press R on your keyboard, and then hit Control V. And then enter. And that will adjust the foot and toe bones so that they are correctly aligned with the ground once we import our model into Gary's mod. Let's go back to object mode. Once you're back, object mode, you're going to go down here, and these are layers, which I don't think are in the new version of Blender anymore, but they're here now. So click on the first layer, which is where we were initially. Going to deselect everything by hitting A couple times, and then go up here and click the armature again to select just your skeleton. And then up here, you're going to click this, you're going to change this to proportion trick 2, and then you're going to click run script again. After that, you're going to right click on any part of your model. Up here, you're going to click this, you're going to change this to proportion trick 2. And then you're going to click run script again. After that, you're going to right click on any part of your model, and you're going to go over here to the modifiers tab and make sure that under the armature modifier, the object
clear
is set to proportions. If it is, then you don't have to do anything else. And now we're going to deselect everything, and then press A again to select everything. And then we're going to press Control L on our keyboard and choose the modifiers option. You want to go over here to the scene tab, and then under export path, we're going to make a new folder in our compile folder, which is where we exported these models to begin with, and we're going to name it proportion trick compile. So here is the original compile.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, you just scared the shit out of me, Charlie! Holy shit. Fuck. Oh my fucking god.
Folder. And
Stop talking. Stop it. Stop talking. Shush your big booty up! Shut up! I'm just kidding, I love you.
Shut the fuck up!
And we are going to click on this to make a new.
I love you. I'm joking. But I do want to be a little bit loner now. I'm trying to focus intensely on this thing, and I love you, and I just snuggled you a little bit earlier.
New folder, and we're going to name it proportion trick compile. We're going to open that and then click accept. Select everything and then go to export, scene export.
Whatever, let's do it again, just in case.
11 files. Don't choose selected objects. We need scene export. That is necessary. There we go. So they have all been exported, and we can close this and do not save. So now in your folder you should have the original models, and then you should have the proportion trick compile folder right here. Grab the QC file and the physics file. And we're going to copy those and bring them over into our proportion trick compile folder, as well as the head_VTA file. Make sure to
Which
grab
I don't
that,
need.
also bring that to the proportion trick compile folder. That's very important because that is what has our face posing data in it. Now is for the QC file editing. Now is for the QC file editing. Okay, open that up with Notepad++. This is the template QC that I have included for you. What you're going to want to do is you are going to want to replace the your name, character name,
Sorry, I didn't fucking see you because you're behind me! If maybe... Hi, Sonic One. I'm not StreamYarding again. Listen, if you don't want to get hurt, then get out of here, please and thank you. I don't know where you are sometimes. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie. I love you. I'll stop you my son, okay? Because right now it's like this shit. Boy.
and your model entries with those entries. So in this case, I'm Timbleweed, so I will name this Timbleweed, Destiny_Anna, and the actual model name itself will be Anna_playermodel.model. So once this is done compiling our model using the QC file, this is the final name of the model file. So what a QC file is it's a
La la la.
essentially a text file that Crowbar will read, which is the other program that you downloaded, and it's essentially just a set of instructions for the computer, and it's telling the computer what we want it to do with all of our various pieces of model. Since our character has a face, and since we gave our character facial, we get to body groups. This part is also optional. This is only if you exported your model in separate pieces like we did here. You're going to go down here and there's going to be body groups. This is where we are going to point the program at our separate This is where the piece part is also to point the program at our
I removed that, but let's also check to see if that's how I did it with the other ones. Because just in case I fuck something up, you know, that's that's very much possible since I'm going off, because I haven't done this in a while. Wrong one, I think. Okay, I don't need it there, but I'm gonna need it here.
separate pieces. First entry for body is already here, but it's pointing to a file just called body, which we don't have because our name is Anna_body. Copy that, and we're going
Boop. Boop. I don't think I have anything else, right? Not that I see, no. So this should be fine.
to change it like that. This is the body group name, and this is the name of the actual file. Actual body group name can be named anything. This is just the name that shows up in Gmod when you
I want to have the capitalization of the thing, so I don't know if that's gonna be possible or not. It's fine if it isn't, but I just want to... No, not delivery fucking bag!
you right click on a model and click body groups, and since this is her body and we don't want to have the ability to disable her whole body, just the command studio and then the name of the file. But here is an example of an actual toggleable bit, which is the same thing, but after the command studio and the file name, there is another entry that just says blank. So by putting that below the first command, that enables you to be able to disable this specific body.
And I think if I put that first, that might work. Because I don't want the goggles on automatically. I just want this for now.
Group in game. So we will name this belt. Find her belt file name and change it here. And there we go. So now, once we have her in the game, we will be able to disable the belt. So we're going to copy this entry, and we're going to paste it again, and we're going to make an entry for her cape now. So we're going to change this to cape, and then change the file name to cape SMD. Do it again. We're going to copy the body group entry, and do it for all the rest of the pieces. And there we go. So now we have toggleable body groups for all her extra bits except her head, which is defined up here. Do not make a body group segment or a body group entry for the head unless you don't have face posing, because that's already defined up here, so it doesn't need to be pointed to again by a body group command. Alright, right below that there is the surface prop command, which just defines how the game treats the character when it comes to things like impact particles. So like if you get shot, it's currently set to metal, which means that if this character gets shot, sparks will emit from it. So we're going to change this to flesh, because she's a human, not a robot. You can ignore these commands. You can ignore these commands for now. And this right here is the next thing that you're going to pay attention to. That is very, very important. This defines what folder the game is going to look in for the materials. So if you get this wrong, your character is going to be the infamous purple check marks, and then
okay, can I he has it like that too. I like this easier. It's easier on the eyes.
change your name to Louise. Character name materials, I'll just name this Destiny_Anna, so it will look in the folder
I changed it to that for this, but I don't think it will matter.
materials, models, Timberleaves, Destiny, Anna. Materials, which is the first folder, is assumed by the engine, so it's not listed here. But I will show you how to make this actual folder once we're done editing the QC file. Okay, so these two entries you can ignore. The next thing that we're going to focus on is the jigglebone entries. This is currently set for hair. These are settings that I use for hair typically. So we are going to set.
I think that'll be fine if I just do this. So let's just. Let's do the tail now. Just in case. Seems right. I think it's right. Let's just make sure that, yeah. So I'm just gonna make it like this for the hair. Just because, I mean, all of it technically could just be hair, so it should be fine. I don't know, but something tells me that
these to the names of the bones that we made for her hair. So we're going to go to pose mode, and we're just going to click on the first hair bone and go to bone, and it is called hair underscore frontal 1, so we're going to copy that, and we're just going to
that made my life so much easier. Oh my god, thank god he told me to fucking do that first.
with that. There we go, and we're going to do that for the rest of the hair bones until we run out. Okay, so those are the only hair bones we have on this model. There are a lot more hair bones that are listed here, but we don't have any more hair bones, so we're going to actually turn those into the entries for our cape bones. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to name them after the cape bones. So we're just going to go to the first one right here, and we're going to name it cape underscore 01, and so on until we run out again. But these are still using the settings. I'll just delete them because we don't need them. If you're someone who skipped through the jiggle bone segments and facial flexes segments to this part of the video, if you do not have facial flexes, you are going to need to erase this whole entire thing right here. And you're just going to erase it, and then you're going to copy one of the top body group entry here, paste it, and then just name this to head, and then point this at the head SMD that you have exported, because otherwise if you leave it the way it is and just rename this part but leave all the flex file stuff, it's going to get confused, because if your character doesn't have a flex file, it won't compile. And if you also skipped the jiggle bones, you're going to want to just backspace all the jiggle bone settings from the QC as well, because the same thing will happen if you don't. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is the define bones. So we are going to go to crowbar and then go to compile, and under output we're going to change this to
Yeah, subfolder actually. I do want that this time, just because. Do 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 do
folder, and then browse, and we're going to go to our proportion for compile folder that we just made, output, and then choose that. And now under QC input, make sure to set this to gate. And now you're just going to click compile define bones. Alright, there we go, and we can close this. Go back to our proportion trick compile folder, and there will be a new file called define bones QCI. So open that up with Notepad++, and here we have this gigantic list of bone names and their coordinates. So we're just going to select all of it and copy them back to our main QC file, and we're going to go to the section that says define bones. Go here, I'm going to erase it, and then Control V, and there we go. We have the define bones setup. It's necessary for whatever reason. Next, you're going to want to go down here to these.
I'm pretty sure it's just right.
Set to female. Includes to information inputs. You can just get well, so you're also going to need to change all the F's to M's. You can just get rid of the Alex underscore. Animation inputs as well. The next thing that you're going to want to pay attention to are these two settings, which dictate, as it says, how high the foot is off the ground. Right now it's set to 0.2. We're going to compile with this specific setting the way it is, just to see if it works out. But sometimes your character's feet might be going through the ground, or they might be too high above the ground. And in that case, you have to come back here, adjust these numbers for each foot, and then recompile your model. You can leave everything else here the way it is, including the ragdoll settings. Under collision joints, there's these settings with joint constraints that basically tell the game the max rotation settings for each bone. So in other words, how far a joint can bend or move in each direction until it stops. These are the default settings that I use for all of my models, but if you want more freedom with physics gun posing, you can actually make your own constraint, your own joint constraints, and you can essentially make it so that each joint has unlimited rotation, which looks terrible, but I guess it's better for posing. But yeah, if you don't want to mess with that, you could just leave it at default. Probably do like an extra segment later on that shows how to adjust those. Okay, so now that we're done editing our QC file, the next thing we have to do is the physics collision model. Okay, so now that we're done editing our QC file, the next thing we have to do is the physics collision model. So in the new version, we're going to delete the cube, go to import, SMD, navigate to our proportion trick compile folder, click on PM_physics SMD. You can leave it at append to target this time, and click import. And here we have this weird looking thing, and what this is, a very low poly. We are going to shim each other. Like, for instance, this is very close to touching styles of D. So now is the scary part, because we have technically everything set up to get this in the game untextured. The first time you try to compile a model, there's a very good chance there's going to be errors. There might not be if you're lucky, but there's a very good chance there's going to be errors, and don't worry about it because that's just how it is. It almost never goes right the first time. Luckily with Crowbar, it usually tells you what the problem is. So it'll usually say why it failed to compile. So we're going to go to Crowbar, and we're going to go to the Compile tab, and we're going to point it at the QC file in our proportion trick compile folder, and make sure it's still set to the correct output folder. Uncheck the define bones box because we are not using it for that.
Alright, it's the same, so I think it should be fine.
And so once you make sure everything is set correctly, and this is set to Gary's mod, click compile. And would you look at that? It actually, I think there was no errors. You might need to scroll up to check. But I don't see any. Okay, cool. So you can close the mark. And in our output folder, we now have models and moves, sesame, and here it is. Now what we're going to do is we are going to create the add-on folder so that.
Actually, no, I don't have to open that like that, but I want to at least test it real quick, so I'm gonna be surprised if this shit works. Because like I will be fucking flabbergasted, I think. Hey, it worked. Not perfectly, but hey, it worked. And I think I know how to do the models, the textures. So, oh, there. The thing got stuck in the thing.
That we can actually now for cloth. Okay, so in here is my settings for the cape from my Aiden.A model port, which I guess I'll include these settings in a file somewhere in the template zip for you as well. Okay, so I'm back here and I'm going to go to the cape setting. Things.
Let's go back and see if I missed. Ah! Too far.
Next thing that we're going to focus on is and it is called hair_front01, so we're going to copy that, and we're just going to replace this bone name with that. There we go, and we're going to do that for the rest of the hair bones until we run out. Okay, so those are the only hair bones we have on this model. There are a lot more hair bones that are listed here, but we don't have any more hair bones, so we're going to actually turn those into
I think I might make the ears cloths, maybe. That might be good. I'll keep the tail like that, though. I like how that looks in the tail. I think that fits the tail perfectly, actually. And I don't think I need to change it there, but I think on the ears, I do, because it do look too fast, in my opinion. Right, perfect. And model. Everything's looking good, I think. I think the goggles might have a little bit of an issue. And if so, I'll just remove them, which won't be too much of a fucking disappointment. But yeah, I'll have to do that again if it does. So I forgot what the things are named, so I'm gonna go into Blender, look them up.
Hurry up! I got shit to do!
Okay. Materials, what did I set the output to? Models, super chipflake. Ooh, okay. Excuse me. Just import this and try to fix the issues with that real quick. Just because I know there's probably something wrong with it. Wait, that's the wrong one! Wrong folder. I was like, what happened to the other files? It was the wrong folder. There it is. Okay. For right now, I'll just worry about copying the assets from the thing to the thing. Okay, I probably should have copied the files down somewhere, so I'm gonna do it in this. Is this the old one? No, this is the new one. Hey, it works. Okay. Coolio. Now I at least know where to do with that, or what to do with that. I don't know. Hooray! Who's my favorite SML character? To be honest, I actually don't know. I like a lot of them. Some of them have very much ulterior motive, which I don't like sometimes, but I don't really know which one I do like, to be honest. It's just, yeah, I don't know. You don't have to delete your messages when you ask questions like that. It'll eventually fix itself, that's fine. I'm just gonna make that like one texture. It's not gonna be like a real texture, it's mostly just gonna be like a plate. No, not a placeholder, but just something to just have it. I guess. Just gonna make it small at least. We're gonna open that screenshot. We can use this color as reference. Around 75. I think shutdown should be good. Now let's do that. Now let's refresh and hopefully that works right. Yeah, good enough actually. I like how that looks actually. It's probably not perfect, but I can always improve it later. Plus, it's pretty close considering. Yeah. Pretty sure it would just be the same as these defined bones, so it doesn't even matter. Hmm? Let's see if it's gonna work first try. Because I'm very excited to have this new player model. Okay. I'm pretty sure I have everything else done right. I don't really want to do a ragdoll, just because I'm lazy for that, and besides, most of the time it works fine anyway. I don't even know what it is, so I guess it's fine. I don't know. Hoping it wasn't nothing bad. It was hidden by its author. You may not be able to use it. Why? Whatever. Go into a small map just so that way I can test easier. Am I busy? I just don't want to play Roblox. I just want to do stuff my own terms whenever I want to. Sometimes I just want to play people a lot. Blinking loud. Also, I'm very curious to see if this shit will work at all inside
After
of
making the top 5 worst Trackmaster sets, I got several comments
Portal.
asking me to make the inverse. What are the
I'm
top
hoping it will, because I spent a lot of fucking time on this shit, and I'm not willing to let it go, because it just won't work. I'm not willing to let that happen. It would be preposterous and fucking bullshit. And I don't want that. I just want to make it work very good. Excuse me. And I'll probably redo everything else about it as well. Yep, it's doing something else first. I don't know what that, when it stutters after the second first, after the first one does, but as long as it's doing something important and not fucking up shit, then I'm fine with that. Yay! Yes, that is so much better, dude. I don't know why he's not in the thing, but yeah, there we go. At least that works. I'll probably just yeah. Works at least. That's nice to know. Bro, get your ass over here, boy. Boy, if you... Now it finally doesn't look like shit. Oh my god. It looks good for once. Hooray. Now I might do like 1 or 2 more things before I finish this off. Like, because I'm not actually entirely happy with how the tail is. So I might just make them... I might just make the tail... This tail have a cloth constraint. I think that might look better in the long run. It would have been fun to have it be hair, but I don't think it would have looked good. That sucks. Auto run. Why isn't this working? Open that up, see if it looks better. I think it might. Yeah, it looks like the game now, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. Jump. Where is jump? Oh, it's probably in a section called jump, I think. Probably assume. Yeah, that probably makes sense, huh? Piece of pirate ship. Wow. Don't use such strong language here. Let's try this again, and if it doesn't work, then I actually don't know, because maybe it's a little bit broken. That could be a possibility. But at the same time, I don't want it to be, because I like my game to work. I want my game to fucking work, bitch.
Five best Trackmaster sets. And admittedly, it was a question that I found kind of daunting. Like I said, I'm a huge Trackmaster fan, and as a whole, it's probably my favorite brand of merchandising ever from Thomas & Friends. And to condense all of that down into a single list is kind of hard. That being said though, I decided to set out and at least try. And as you can tell from clicking on this video, I came up with something. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going through what I think are the top 5 best Trackmaster sets ever released. Like I said, I'm more biased towards the classic Trackmaster stuff, so there's definitely going to be more of that than anything in here. But I also tried to look through the Trackmaster Revolution stuff to see if there was anything that caught my eye. Inevitably, I'm already biased, so I don't want to be even more so. And with that in mind, let's go ahead and jump into it. Starting with number 5, coincidentally the only Trackmaster Revolution set on the list. That being the Troublesome Trap set. This set released in 2014 on June 9th, and is a total of 19 pieces. It features James, a haunted barn, a transforming haystack, or quote-unquote transforming, a rickety bridge, and track. When this first came out, I was pretty firmly out of Trackmaster, and was favoring OO modeling as opposed to anything. That being said though, this set gave me quite a bit of hope, and for a while I really wanted to get it. Sadly, I didn't, and this is the only set on this list I never had the chance to get. But I did have friends who happened to have it as well, and from what I could tell, the set was very well functioning, had a very simple track layout, and while the set itself is a gimmick, and I'm not very big on those, the gimmick was pretty fun. For a set to make me want to go back to Trackmaster after I was pretty firmly out of it is pretty cool, and honestly unique to this set. There has not been a single Trackmaster 2 item since then that I've really wanted like that. The James featured in the set was even unique to the set, having very minimal scratches on the side. I also believe at this time they released a Scared James, which would have been cooler if that was in this set, since this James just had a normal smile, but that being said, this set was still super cool. And while Trackmaster 2 thrives on being super complex and anything but a
Hi,
set,
copy.
this definitely didn't feel like that, so I figured it'd make a good number 5.
If you're gonna stream, I might join. I don't know. But I've been just actually working on this thing the entire time.
With Walmart's summer style, you can leave quite an impression.
For number 4, we have the Misty Island Deluxe set. Now, this set released in 2010, and I believe I got it at that time. It consisted of 60 pieces, came with Thomas, Dash, and Bash, wagons for all 3 of them, the Shake Shake Bridge, a logging mill, a zipline bridge, a tree trunk tunnel, log track risers, and so much Misty Island track. Now, all of these parts were available separately, but were also available
What?
in a big set. And as a whole, it's just better to do it that way. Misty Island Rescue may have stunk as a movie, but the merch was phenomenal. With this set alone, you could build an entire Misty Island with every notable landmark. And every function was a blast to play with, and inspired many more complex layouts around it. The zipline bridge was amazing. The Shake Shake Bridge is probably one of the most iconic sets in Trackmaster history. And all around, if you had this set, you definitely spent hours with it. I do have some slight critiques with it though, mainly being that the track itself was very hard to put in anything that wasn't this set. If I recall correctly, the track pieces were made specifically for it, so when you tried to put it in a normal layout, it often didn't work. But being Trackmaster, you often found ways around it. So with that being said, I figured this made a good number 4. For number 3, I have R.C. Thomas at Tidmouth Sheds. This originally released in July of 2007, and consisted of 48 pieces. A RC flip-faced Thomas with a red band if you got the hit version, a normal RC Thomas if you got the Fisher-Price version, Tidmouth Sheds, Herald, a tunnel, bridge, and a simple track oval with a siding. Now, this set didn't contain a lot of track, but it really didn't need to. This set was the perfect example of you're in charge, and the RC Thomas was essential to that. Does Thomas go to the sheds? Where in the sheds? Does he go see Harold? Does he go to the siding? Is he going forwards, backwards? Is he blowing his whistle? You could do all of that with this one simple set, and that I think is so much more iconic and important than the normal turn the engine on and watch it go set we get with Trackmaster. It really stood out and was a favorite of mine as a child. I really wanted to put this in the number 2 spot, but instead for that I decided to go with Thomas's Daring Drop, which released in 2012. This set had 27 pieces, contained Thomas, a molded Merrick, a collapsing bridge, hazard sign boulder, and a large oval of Blue Mountain track. Now you may be thinking what makes this set better than the Tidmouth Shed set. Well, from the start, I'm a huge fan of Blue Mountain Mystery, but while I'm also not the biggest fan of gimmicks, and this set is just that, this is an example of that working, almost to the fullest. From what I can recall, the set always worked, maybe not with a consist, but for the most part. The bridge drop itself was an amazing feature that handled almost any engine that went on it. And if you did have a consist and didn't want to take your engine on that, it turns out you didn't have to. The set had an alternate way around it. So just like the last, you were in control of the gimmick itself. Either you chose to have an accident or send an engine down a very large bridge, or instead send it across a basic incline. All around, it was a blast to play with. And
How do I
wish we got
dance again?
more
I
like this.
forgot.
That being said though, it hails in comparison to our number 1 spot. And honestly, is there really any question? It's Action King. The set ever.
Hello everyone, welcome to another Gmod video. Today I'm going to show you how to type in and then the name of the action. For example, act that.
Yes, bro. Yes. Now it's time to add these to the thing. But first, having not done this in quite a while, you know, it still feels nice. Like, it feels good. Maybe I'll do more, like the cat NPC. So that'd be lots of work to do, and I don't know if I can do that. At least not at the moment, but I'll think about it soon enough and see if I can add any NPCs or any other thing from any other game that I wanted. From a uni game, which might be a little bit. I don't know how many uni games I've played where I've wanted to actively insert it into Gary's mod, but since there's a guide and always a reference, I can always do it again and again and again. Which is fun. Also, what the frick was that? I'm not gonna lie, I like the Half-Life handgun on him better. So while I'm at it, I'm going to why not Steam Rip. I'm not even using that, dude, right now. Let's go to my workshop items. Oh my fuck. Oh my fucking god! my boy made it to Gmod, and then this guy says girl, and then he says she was hotter before she started calling herself a boy. At least I can still blast her up to her avatar from 54. Bro, shut the fuck. I mean, I can't say I've never done it, but maybe don't say that out loud, okay, buddy, and not on Steam comments about it. Outdated. And then we can do one more test or so. I still like the map, and I'm not going to redo it anytime soon, just because, like, I know it could be way better, but it is accurate at least, and while there's not, like, a little thing in there, like, yeah. Okay. Ah! Oop. Who's home? I wonder. Wait, no, not. Oh yeah, home. Where's the logo at again? Is it in resources? I don't think so, but there's other stuff. Don't know what that's for. Interesting though. Hi, Mom. Excuse me. Hey, Charlie Brown, I see you.
Shut your big fucking mouth.
Yeah, this is you.
Okay, so now that we're done editing our...
Followers is a lot.